Hi everyone, it's the EnglishSimmer here, and I'm so excited to bring this video to you all because if you have been watching me over on Twitch for the last few weeks, you will know that I am absolutely in love with Palia. When I'm not playing this game, I can't stop thinking about playing this game. I'm not even like super far into it. I've barely got any of the skills so far just because I'm out like exploring and it feels like there is so much to do in it. But I'm also trying to take my time because I want to like savor every single moment. But as you all know, whenever there is a new comfy, cozy farming simulator game that also includes romanceables, I'm very likely to do a tier ranking of every like romantic or marriage candidate that we have. Starting off with a happy little surprise. I genuinely did not think I would see this. I was so shocked when I first started playing this game and I found out that the fisher robot Einar is actually romanceable. I think this is the first time where we've had like a non-human be romanceable that I can think of anyway in like one of these types of games, and it's really nice to see. He's a Galdor, I think that's how you pronounce it. I am still getting used to the pronunciation of things. I know how to pronounce Palia and that's about it. I don't want to read too much, like I don't want to fully spoil this for myself. So he has been living in Kalima Valley for 3,928 years. Boy has experience. He's exceptionally tall, dark, handsome, if that's for you, standing heads and shoulders above everyone else. The most eligible bachelor there is. His arms are long and flexible. Each of his hands has a pair of fingers and a thumb. The jokes I could make. I'm trying to restrain myself here. Wrapped around his torso is a cargo net which he uses to carry his fishing bobbers. Traces of moss and rust are present on Einar, primarily along the crevices of his body. Why is this sounding so suggestive for a robot? Einar wears a weathered straw hat charmingly decorated with wildgrass and a yellow flower. He is an outdoorsy boy. However, I will say absolutely gave me nightmares. When I saw this robot cast his line, his arms went like everywhere, and whilst I know some of you might be into that, it personally scared me. I think he is a sweet boy, and I do think eventually I probably will romance him, although he's not like my top choice. He'll probably happen in like a second, third, fourth playthrough. I think he's sweet, but he's just personally not for me. I'm sorry to this robot. Next up, we have Hassian. I'm fairly sure the only villager who has an animal. So I mean, he's got a dog. He's already one up on me there. I am absolutely a dog person first and foremost. I love dogs, and I did just speak to this man so that I could actually interact with his dog. He is a hunter, so again, an outdoorsy boy. I really like Hassian from what I've seen. He has like a hard exterior, like he plays it tough. He doesn't really talk much. He kind of keeps himself to himself, like acts like he's too cool to like even chat with you. But I will say he is mysterious and brooding. I have heard that he writes poems, and I don't want to know what it is, but I just have a little soft spot for the artist. When I see a little bit of creativity wrapped in a hard exterior, I'm like, let me just chip away at this a little bit. I also really like his mother. I feel like I'm already in there with the parents, you know. Whilst I currently don't think he's my top romanceable, nor even in my top 2 of romanceables, I actually really wish that I could romance him. I don't know if you can romance multiple people. I think on one character you can only romance 2 people, which is really unfortunate considering like that's my account and that's what I play with. Maybe I'll just have to make a secondary account to romance him, but I do really enjoy him as a character and I'm really liking getting to know him. The fashion icon that is Jel. Jel is the tailor of Palia, always dressed to the absolute nines, you know, absolute fashionista. However, from what I've learned about Jel so far, I feel as if he comes from like a very well-off family known as the Omiata family. He gives me Percy vibes from Critical Role. I've been trying to think for ages who Jel reminds me of, and it's of Percy. And I feel like a lot of people are gonna like him He's very like eccentric, and I feel like that always is like a really appreciated things in games like this. But I have to say, for me, he's just like not it. I do just think you'd be better suited to like a lot of other people I know and not actually me. So I am gonna put you in no. Moving on to Jina, the first person that you come into contact with when you start playing Palia. Sorry if that's a spoiler. I'm not gonna talk about like the storyline or anything like that. And to be fair, I'm not even well enough equipped to do that because, like I said, I'm still very early on in like the main storyline. She is basically the explorer of Palia. She's like a scientist. She loves researching the history. A lot of the main storylines are to do with her because she's obviously trying to unravel the mystery alongside you as the player. I absolutely adore Jina. Her enthusiasm could potentially get to be too much for me because I genuinely think I would just be like, oh my word, like you are making me question everything about myself consistently, and I don't know if I can get through that. So for me, I'm gonna say Jina is 50-50, but I do adore her. I just don't know if it's more of a friendship vibe between us, which I'm also like okay with. Like I can definitely see her being my best friend. So, you know, strong foundations. Oh my word. I'm sure you can tell just from her character art, but I am on my knees. Honestly, I would beg for just a second of this woman's time. I saw her in the game and I was like, that's it. That's the one. That's the one I want to romance. She's the mayor's daughter. She's badass. She's edgy. She doesn't get on like super well with her parents because they like expect a lot of her. They're like a very big family to live up to, so she's rebellious. Oh my god, I absolutely adore her. We do actually just ignore the fact that the game was like, oh yeah, she already slightly has a romantic interest in Nayo. It is my biggest quest right now to split these two up. Like, I'm not having it. I'm sorry. Nayo, she will be mine. You can get in the bin. I'm thoroughly enjoying getting to know her, so she is slap bang right up there at the top. Yes, I have grown really fond of this. Thank you very much. This is a call out post to me, myself, and I for being a simp for video game characters. Ugh, and then her little boyfriend. I'll get into his information. I don't actually hate Nayo though. Like, he's cute, which is apparently how she feels about him as well, because she doesn't want to like tell him that she likes him, which I am absolutely using to my advantage. He's very like the Alex of Stardew Valley, you know? He's kind of a little bit sporty, but he's also a sweet farmer boy. He has like farmer will energy. So if all of you who are planning to romance Nayo just like take him away and distract him, for me, that would be excellent. I don't ever actually see myself romancing him though. A hardworking young man, he's the first son of Badru and Delilah, following his path to become a farmer, and though he's not a deep thinker, he does have a kind heart. If you want a cowboy, this is the man for you. Save a horse, ride a cowboy, am I right? Oh, this man annoys me more than I think any character in like any game ever has. I'm sorry, this might be unnecessary hatred, but whenever I know I have to talk to him, I'm just like, why? Why do I have to do it? Like, I really want to learn the cooking skill. It's one of my favorite things about the game, and I hate how it is tainted by Reth. I'm so sorry to all of you Reth lovers out there. I know there are people who adore him as a character, but for me, he's just like overtly flirty, and like, I kind of like it when characters can have like a jokey exchange with you, and you know, they're aware that they're like going to be romanced or like have the option to be romanced, but he's so insistent with it that I'm just like, you're annoying me. Like, as a player, I rarely want to talk to him, but I know that I have to. I think maybe once I get like my romance pin and that he can see that I'm like romancing another character, he might eventually like calm down a little bit, and if the friendship goes up and the conversations change, then I might actually grow to like him. But for right now, no. I feel like I'm gonna get absolutely wrecked for this in the comment section, but I'm sorry, Reth. You may eventually like grow on me, but from what I've played so far, we're just like not compatible. And that's okay. I don't have to be compatible with everyone. Tamala, aka the character for all of you who love older women and want them to step on you. She, at this point, don't get me wrong, I do like her as a character. I'm really enjoying like any interaction that I have with her, but she does kind of feel like she was written a little bit fanservice-y to me. She really reminds me of Mother Gothel from Tangled, which is iconic. Like, I love Mother Gothel as a character, but she kind of just feels like she's like playing up to that role an awful lot. When I first saw her, I was like, oh damn. But then once I actually started talking to her more, again, she's one of these characters that's like overtly flirty with you, and maybe I'm just realizing I prefer the friendship route first, or like who plays it cool. Whereas her and Reth definitely don't do that in my eyes. Although I do love the little bit of danger where most of the other villagers are like, stay away from her. And you're just like, oh, but maybe I can fix her. Maybe I can be the one to change her. But I think I would still like to try the romance track with her. Like, who am I kidding? I'd like to try the romance track with all of these so I get like the most out of the game and can see all the different dialogues. And finally, the love of my life. Honestly, the character that I saw and was like, I'm gonna romance you. I think this kind of comes from my love of like the Able sisters. I remember being a little kid and being like, I want to be girlfriends with the Able sisters. Like, I just love them. Any of them. Literally any. More so Sable though, because you know, you had to like talk to Sable a lot. She had to warm up to you. She kind of had that like air of mystery about her, but then once she did, she was like the sweetest little thing ever. She's into furniture making, and she also has a lot to teach me, which I know the same can be said for a lot of these characters, okay? A lot of them are there to be specifically guides for your characters. I just think she's neat. I've liked her from the get-go, and I would say she is very much on par with Kenyatta for me when it comes to romanceables. So there we go. There is my full tier list of the romanceables. I will say, I don't know if they're ever like planning on making more. Obviously, this game is currently in open beta, so it's still very much being worked on. I haven't really like delved into a lot of the dev chat about what they're planning to create and like add into the game and things like that. So I don't know if they are planning on like adding new characters, but I know I would definitely like some different romanceables. I will say from like the 9 that we have, that's a pretty small group for like games that we are used to seeing, I feel. I know a ton of people are already writing to the devs saying that they want Hodari to actually be romanceable, which I quite like that he's not romanceable. I think he's a very sweet character. I'm excited to like get to know him, but if the devs are like, no, we don't want to make him romanceable, like I very much support that, but I would like to see more diversity when it comes to the actual romanceables if they do introduce new characters to this game. I would absolutely love to hear all of your thoughts on this. If you are playing Palia at the minute, it is free to download. There are in-app purchases that you can make for cosmetics, which I do think are very, very expensive, and I have yet to put any money into this game. But I would love to hear who you are trying to romance in your playthrough. Please don't leave any spoilers for anyone. Like, you can obviously talk about the stuff that I've like mentioned here or the stuff that is like freely available on the wiki, but if you are like far into romancing someone or far into a friendship with someone, please don't give away any like plot spoilers or anything like that. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I hope you lot enjoyed this video and hearing my thoughts on all of these characters. I appreciate you all, and I will speak to you all in my next one. Bye now.